Hello students, today we are going to discuss the lesson Eye and Ear in grade 9. So I invite you to subscribe my channel and stay with us. We have 5 sense organs to perceive the changes in the environment. They are eyes, ears, nose, skin and the tongue. So out of these organs, today we are going to discuss about eye and ear. Given diagram is the structure and the function of the human eye. Parts of the human eye are lens, cornea, pupil, aqueous humor, iris, suspensory ligament, ciliary muscle, then vitreous humor, blind spot, optic nerve, fovea that is called as yellow spot, retina, choroid, sclera and eye muscle. You can see them in the diagram given here. Special features are eyes are situated inside the orbits in the skull. Each eye is fixed with 6 eye muscles to the orbit. Each ball can move in vertical, horizontal and circular plane. Now we'll learn about the major parts of the human eye. Sclerotic layer, tough, white outermost layer of the eye. Light do not penetrate through it. Then cornea. The sclerotic layer in front of the iris becomes thin, transparent and then forms the cornea. Choroid. Inside the sclerotic layer is the choroid. Supplies blood to the eye. Retina. Inside the choroid layer is the retina. The light sensitive rod cells and cone cells are located in this layer. Aqueous humor. A transparent watery liquid fills the space between the lens and cornea. Lens. Transparent biconvex lens that has the ability to change its curvature. Focuses the images on retina. Iris. Controls the amount of light entering the eye. Pupil. The hole in the center of the iris. It allows light to enter and pass through the lens. Ciliary muscle. Supports to hold the lens. Helps to change the curvature of the lens when necessary. Vitreous humor. A transparent jelly-like substance which fills the rear cavity of the lens. Helps to maintain the spherical shape of the eye. Fovea. Yellow spot. The sensitive part of the retina where the sharp images formed. Blind spot. The area of the retina where light sensitive cells are not located. Though light is focused, no vision is possible. Optic nerve. The nerve that connects the eye and the brain. Convey the visual stimulus from the retina to the brain for the interpretation of the image. How the perceives visionary senses. Our eye functions to give us sight. To see an object clearly, light rays must be entered to the eye from the object. Camera and the lens refract light and converge onto the retina. Eye has a convex lens. It forms an inverted image. Then the nerves in the retina stimulated and send the message to the brain through the optic nerve. Optical area of the eye interpret it as an upright one. You observe the first diagram given here. That is the ray diagram for an image formed from a far object on the retina of eye. The rays that reach from the far object can be considered as parallel rays. The rays that reach the eye from the far object get refracted through the lens and converged onto the retina, marking an image on it. The second diagram is the ray diagram for an image formed from a close object on the retina of eye. The rays that reach from the close object can be considered as diverged rays. The rays that reach the eye from the close object get refracted through the lens and converged onto the retina, making an image on it. Diffraction of light through convex and concave lenses. In the given diagram, you can observe what is a convex lens and a concave lens. A parallel beam of light directed towards a convex lens gets converged to a point after refraction. The point that collects light rays in front of a convex lens is called focal point of the lens. The distance between the lens and the focus is the focal length. The next diagram given here is a refraction of parallel beam of light through convex lens. Observe the diagram well. A parallel beam of light directed towards a concave lens gets diverged after refraction. In the given diagram, you can observe that incident well. Focal length is comparatively high in low convex lenses, that means length with less curvature. Focal length is relatively low in higher convex lenses, lens with higher curvature. In the given diagram, you can observe a convex lens with less curvature and convex lens with high curvature. How to get a clear image without changing the image distance? The curvature of the eye lens should be reduced for a distant object. The curvature of the eye lens should be increased for a close object. Now, let's learn about defects of vision. Mainly there are two eye defects. First one, long sight, that is hypermetropia. Then second one, short sight. It is named as myopia. First we'll learn about long sight. A person having this defect is able to see far object clearly, but close object becomes unclear. This happens due to inability to increase the curvature of the eye lens, then eyeball becoming too short. In the first diagram, it has given a person with long sight can see the far objects clearly. But in the second diagram, the light rays from the nearby object focused behind the retina. This defect can be corrected by using convex meniscus lens. Then the both eye lens and the convex meniscus lens refract light more and converge the light onto the retina. In the last diagram given here, you can see long sight and its correction. Now we'll learn about short sight. A person with this defect sees nearby objects clearly while distant objects appear blurred. This happens due to inability to reduce the curvature of the eye lens, then elongation of the eyeball. In the first diagram, it is given a person with short sight can see the nearby objects clearly. Then in the second diagram, the rays coming from the distant objects are focused in front of the retina. This defect can be corrected by using concave meniscus lens. The rays from the object are diverged through the concave meniscus lens and converge onto the retina to make a clear image. In the given diagram, you can see short sight and its correction. What is binocular vision? The ability to maintain visual focus on an object with both eyes creating a single visual image is known as binocular vision. The eyes of human, relava, chimpanzee, gorilla, and loris are located in front of position of the skull. So there is a greater chance of seeing the same area with both the eyes. Mammals such as cattle, dog and tiger have no ability to look at the same area using both eyes, but they have the ability to look more areas separately using each eye. Human has a broader range of binocular vision. In the given diagram, you can observe that the range of binocular vision of man is broader than a dog. Your eyes can see the objects which lie in the range of the stretched hands. It is your binocular range. But when both eyes are open, the objects seen to the left of the left hand can be seen only by the left eye. Similarly, the objects to the right of the right hand can be seen only by the right eye. Stereoscopic vision. The ability of eye to determine the distance of an object, depth or height of it is known as stereoscopic vision. Eye diseases. There are two common eye defects. They are cataract and glaucoma. Cataract. A cataract is a cloudiness or opacity in normal transparent crystalline lens of the eye. It is because of the denaturing of proteins in the eye. Then eye lens turned into milky color. In the diagram you can see the lens of a healthy eye is transparent. The lens of a diseased eye is not transparent. Cataract prevents the light rays coming from an object focusing properly on the retina. Then all the objects are seen blurred. You can observe in the diagrams well. Look at the last two diagrams given here. The first diagram is about a healthy eye sees an object clearly. Then the second diagram, the diseased eye sees the object blurred. Cataract may occur with age and genetical factors. Ultraviolet rays also affect for cataract. What is glaucoma? It is a disease that gradually reduces the visual range of the eye and leads for blindness due to the damage of the optic nerve. By detecting at the first stage, further increasing of glaucoma can be controlled. It occurs due to the high blood pressure in the eye. Diabetics increases the risk of glaucoma. This damage cannot be reversed. Observe the given four diagrams here well. A is the healthy eye sees the objects clearly. Then B, first stage of glaucoma. C, middle stage of glaucoma. D is the final stage of glaucoma. This leads to vision loss or blindness. Eye infections. Eyes can be infected by viruses. Reddening of eye, secretion of tears are the symptoms. It spreads through insects, Kondurua, and by contact. It is known as sore eyes. Precautions to prevent health problems related to eye. Protect your eyes from harmful light rays. Do not look at the sun directly at a solar eclipse, and necessary safety methods should be used to look at the sun in such situations. Be sure to wear safety glasses when do welding. Do not use eye drops or any other liquids into the eye without medical advice. Do not use someone else's spectacles. When using sunglasses, follow medical advices. Should care for personal hygiene. Now let's learn about the human eye. This is the structure and functions of the human eye. Observe the given diagram well. In the outer ear there are three parts: pinna or earlobe, a cartilaginous organ, directs sound waves towards the auditory canal. Then the second part, external auditory canal, directs the sound to tympanic membrane. Tympanic membrane vibrates in response to the sound wave and acquires the auditory senses. Middle ear is divided into ossicles and eustachian tube. Ossicles, three bones named malace, incus and stapes, transmit sound-related vibration to the cochlea. Then eustachian tube, an open tube connected to pharynx, controls the pressure on either sides of the tympanic membrane. Inner ear is divided into three parts: cochlea, auditory nerve and semicircular canals. Cochlea. The nerve endings of the auditory nerve is connected to cochlea, transmit auditory senses to the auditory nerve. Auditory nerve. Take auditory senses to the relevant part of the brain. That sound is interpreted by the relevant part of the brain. Semicircular canals contribute to maintain the balance of the body. How the ear perceives auditory senses. The sound waves are created by the vibrations of the objects in the external environment. Sound waves travels to tympanic membrane along the external auditory canal. The tympanic membrane is vibrated accordingly. The vibrations are then transmitted to cochlea through ossicles. The nerve endings connected to cochlea take the auditory senses to the auditory nerve. The auditory nerve transmits the impulse to the relevant part of the brain. The sound is interpreted by the auditory area of the brain. What are the defects of the ear? Impaired hearing, deafness, hardening of ossicles. The people who are deaf from the birth are dumb too. Hearing aids can be used as a remedy for loss of hearing. The audibility range of the human ear is 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz. Sounds beyond this range can damage the ear. Now we'll see what are the precautions to be taken to protect our ears. Avoid inserting foreign objects into the ear. Refrain exposing to loud noises. Do not put any medicines for the ear without medical advice. Avoid diving in deep waters without wearing safety equipment because as pressure is very high in deep water. Avoid slapping on the ear and dragging by the earlobe. This lesson is over now. So we'll meet from a new video soon. Goodbye to everybody.